We have some breaking news coming out of the Vikings organization. We have added some more depth to the cornerback room. Obviously, this offseason hasn't been great for that room at all. We lost one tragically to a passing, and then we also lost another person to a torn ACL for the rest of the season. So we've been having to kind of go out and search the open market of who might want to join our team at the cornerback position. Well, today, the Vikings have added to their defensive backs room again, and I would assume this won't be the last move they make. Okay, now Minnesota on Monday signed defensive back Bobby McCain after he worked out Sunday, a day off for players at Vikings training camp. Now, to make room for McCain, Minnesota waived kicker John Parker Romo, who also kicked for the XFL, was a standout there, who had joined the team during free agency before the Vikings drafted kicker Will Reichard out of Alabama, which officially means the Minnesota Vikings have their kicker. Their starting kicker will be Will Reichard, draft pick out of Alabama. I'm pumped for this. Kid was phenomenal in college football. I believe he had the most points in college football history or something like that. He's just an absolute stud, so hopefully his game translates to the NFL. But back to Bobby McCain, who brings considerable experience to the Vikings. He started 87 of the 131 regular season games that he's played in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins, the Washington Commanders, and the New York Giants. Now, after playing college football at Memphis, McCain first entered the NFL in 2015 as a fifth-round pick by the Miami Dolphins. Okay, he played there through the 2020 season, overlapping with Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores, who was Miami's head coach from 2019 to 2021 for 2 seasons. So McCain started 55 of 87 games for the Miami Dolphins, totaling 254 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 7 quarterback hits, 4 sacks, and 30 passes defensed, and also 7 interceptions. From 2021 to 2022, McCain started 32 of 34 games for Washington and totaled 139 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 1 quarterback hit, 14 passes defensed, and 4 interceptions. And then his previous campaign with the Washington Commanders, he appeared in 10 games primarily, or not with Commanders, for the Giants. He started or appeared in 10 games primarily on special teams in 2023. So not a lot happening with the New York Giants last season. But hey, if you look at what he was able to do at the beginning of his career with both Miami and Washington, you can say that this guy probably brings a lot of experience, has a high motor. He's going to fly around. He's going to make plays. Per the Dolphins Syndicate host, Donovan, shout out to him for giving me this little piece of information. He said, look, this guy's not great, okay? But he's going to be very, very reliable. And I assume that's what we're going to get out of him, okay? Because he did play with Brian Flores, and it seemed what he did with Brian was a pretty decent tenure with the Miami Dolphins, right? 7 interceptions, over 200 tackles. The dude was flying around, making plays in that defensive system where Brian Flores basically, yes, he was the head coach, but he ran the defense as well. And now that Brian Flores is the defensive coordinator for us, he's going to know exactly what to do with Bobby McCain. So I would assume that this guy, Bobby McCain, will probably start for the Minnesota Vikings. Not sure where he'll be listed on the depth chart, if he'll be the nickel corner, if he'll be out wide guarding, some of the top receivers in the National Football League alongside Byron Murphy Jr. But at this point in time, it seems as if we have Byron Murphy locked up as our starting corner, and then potentially it would have to go to either Shaq Griffin or Bobby McCain as slated as our number 2 corners as of this point currently. So hopefully things pan out, but the Vikings continuously are adding depth to that corner or defensive back room. We're going to have to see some more moves being made, hopefully a trade later on in the season if the Vikings feel like that is a necessary road to go down, or even sign a couple more free agents. I believe there's a couple out there that are still waiting to get signed. You can basically, in my opinion, cross off the Xavier Howard signing, if you will. I don't think that's going to happen just from the recent things that I've seen surrounding Howard. I just don't think the Vikings are going to want to take a chance on a guy that has some off the field issues at this point in time. But from what we're doing the best we can, trying to sign the best available players to kind of help us out and set us in the right direction, dealing with a bunch of injuries and other things going on in that defensive backs room. But the Vikings add Bobby McCain, who's played in 3 different organizations over his tenure. Hopefully, the Vikings is his last, and, well, I guess not last, but at least hopefully he performs how we want him to, exceptionally well. So you guys let me know your thoughts on this signing down below in the comment section. Also, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.